there is no time to waste. There is no time to explain. This is Don Kryptonium. And today we are going to talk about EVM wars in Cosmos. Or maybe there is no wars. So I'm going to explain to you all the Canto versus Evmos saga. Why Canto has nearly 200 millions in total value locked, while Evmos struggling to get 1 million in total value locked. Why Nomad Bridge was exploited. You know, all the perks you will learn in this video. So before we start to enable rest of the content, make sure you like this video. I hope I'm saying this clear. Like it and subscribe to Don Kryptonium. And yes, this video will be probably biased. All I'm doing, I'm trying to go out there to the internet, gather the informations, and based on that, form the opinions and understand why the things are the way they are. Also, I do not hold Canto, I do not hold Evmos, I'm not a fan of EVM chains, so I hope this is clear. People focusing on the price, I don't want to focus on this, you know, especially regarding Canto. It went like 10x in the last month or close to this, and this is extremely risky. You know, Canto has very high incentives for liquidity providers, so there is still heavy dilution happening, so I would expect the huge correction could happen any moment. That's why I'm not interested in providing liquidity, playing this game. This is too much stress, and maybe you should too avoid some stress in your life. The other voices that I heard that, hey, Canto has very high volume, they must be doing wash trading. Maybe. It's possible because they have zero fees for liquidity providers, so they could be trying to make a pure volume higher, but maybe they don't do this. We don't know this, but you need to understand it's possible when you have zero fees, okay? So I'm not going to be strictly focusing on this stuff. So on the Twitter, there is this thread of what's going on between Canto and Evmos. You need to understand both of them are EVM chains that stands for Ethereum Virtual Machine, right? So the Evmos is essentially first Cosmos chain that has EVM implemented, and it kind of serves as the bridge in the community from other Ethereum virtual machines like Ethereum to Cosmos. And Canto is the fork of Evmos, and forks are absolutely fine. So what they did, they used the code of Evmos, created their own product, then they used Gravity Bridge as their own bridge, then they fork Compound to use in their own lending borrowing protocols, and this is absolutely fine. So everyone focuses that, hey, Evmos did all this work and Canto forked them, so Canto is fake, Canto is bad. No, it doesn't work like this, and I don't think anyone cares like this, but I want to focus on the idea why Canto is actually here more successful with this trading, with community, than Evmos, and the Evmos seems to be dead. It doesn't have community. So reason number one here that Cosmos doesn't really have this EVM background. A lot of Cosmos community, Cosmos users, Cosmos builders didn't really participate in heavy development on EVM and Ethereum. So the community is very separate. Evmos building EVM chain on Cosmos didn't really attract the community from Ethereum because they didn't have it. The community of Evmos appears to be strictly from the Cosmos, and you know, it's a little bit difficult because I remember when it started I had some questions, hey, like when the Evmos will be interested with Aave, etc. So I went there and I felt community had no idea what I'm talking about. The Evmos community appear to not even know the applications, the EVM applications that are out there, you know, so Evmos building their own applications. But this idea that it serves as the bridge from Ethereum community to Cosmos kind of failed because there is no Ethereum community that appears to be coming to Evmos. Although we need to admit that they are on the forefront of EVM innovation within the Cosmos ecosystem. And then, when you look at the Canto, it's very different. Canto is not Cosmos community. It appears the Canto is made by the people who grew up in Ethereum. The community who grew up in Ethereum, and even the founder of the Canto is actually the head NFT product of Uniswap initially. He also found Genie XYZ. So the guy who founded Canto was builder on Ethereum, was user on Ethereum, and I believe was even NFT fan on Ethereum. So it's totally different culture that came here. So Canto formed around the EVM community and this user, while Evmos is Cosmos community of non-EVM users. And with that, you can see that because of these people are experienced, there is strong community within the EVM. They were very successful launching their products, and as of now, they have close to 200 million total value locked. While Evmos, it's not very, intuitive for any other people, and it's very confusing for many cosmonauts. So that's probably the problem. And the thing is, the Canto could be very successful when it comes to bridging users from Ethereum to Cosmos. So as of now, it appears that Canto functions as its own separate community. But imagine this separate community, a lot of them EVM users that are not experienced with the Cosmos, could be bridged to Cosmos once Canto enable IBC. So something that Evmos tried to achieve, by bridging these users, it probably will be role of Canto. Because first, you need the culture, you need the community from Ethereum, and then you bring them here. While Evmos could be maybe leading EVM on Cosmos, but not someone who is responsible for bridging the community to Cosmos. So let's speak of those few differences that they have. Canto is focused on the public infrastructure, focused on the public goods, It meant to be free, affordable, and usable for everyone who wants to use it. It's also very risky experiment, So for example, they integrated public good bridge that is Gravity. Unlike Evmos, that didn't really go with Gravity free bridge that is secured by the validator, but with the bridge that is more venture capital aligned. And this is also probably why Nomad Bridge hack happened there. And Canto also focuses mainly on DeFi, so it appears, while Evmos trying to be, just EVM chain, maybe more similar to Ethereum that serves all the purposes. So of course I said this video will be biased, even Federico, why you do me like this? Federico blocked me, then he unblocked me because I made few jokes about Evmos. And this is something that Evmos community could probably learn from Canto. Hey, embrace shitposting, embrace this teasing each other, don't block it. Because if you will be working this way, if you will create this community, hey, we are better than others, we have 5 users, you are going to lose. So now, let's look at the negative things that affected Evmos. I do believe that Evmos growth was heavily affected by the Nomad Bridge, and you could answer, why they choose Nomad Bridge, okay? The answers are always there if you need them. So Evmos had a funding round where they raised $27 million from the round that was led by Polychain Capital. And then, when you look at the funding of the Nomad, you can see that Nomad raised $22 million in the round also led by Polychain Capital. And you need to understand that those interests of venture capital always matter. So with that, Evmos chose to integrate Nomad Bridge. And as you know, multi-sig bridges or bridges that are, contract can always get exploited by faulty code or exploitation of the multi-sig, Probably it would be more difficult to hack validator secured bridge. And venture capital will never choose public good bridge. They will always choose the bridge on which they have control. And you need to see those things, that there is a lot of venture capital interest, including in the chains that claim to be community driven. You have common interest. Hey, we are going to choose Nomad Bridge because that's in our interest. You will not use Gravity Bridge. And it also costed Evmos to, be affected by the massive exploit of Nomad Bridge. So probably they could have avoided this, but this doesn't align with venture capital interest. So, to finish this video, there is no beef. Somehow, Canto was fully overlooked. It had its own strong community. And once Canto started trading, somehow on Twitter, people start appealing, hey, Canto is bad, Evmos did all the hard work. And those tweets are somehow liked by the, founders of the Evmos, feeling bad here, and trying to use this rhetoric. Instead of trying to fight it, you should see what they do better than you do. Build community, build culture, because with that, EVM is coming to Cosmos and more users are coming to Cosmos, and we can all benefit from those Canto users. So you don't have to ape with the price. Don't buy it. Ape into the culture. With that, Don Kryptoniums out.